Nak dunia belajar yang lagi seronok tak? Jom masuk iKlas. Dengan iKlas nak belajar secara digital di mana-mana pun mudah dan mengujakan. Seronok kan? Di kat sini ada ramai cikgu berpengalaman yang sedia dan bersemangat untuk mengajar. Tak kiralah di mana-mana. Ada soalan ke tu? Tanya je cikgu terus. Ini kan tuition dalam talian. Skor dalam peperiksaan dengan bantuan cikgu tuition. Nota ada, video ada, soalan latih tupi peperiksaan ada dan banyak lagi tau. Tengok tu, macam-macam aktiviti dan projek ada untuk anda sertai. Kuasai bahasa Inggeris dengan aktiviti bercerita dan menulis. Berlakon di Bengkel Bercerita. Atau menulis esei dengan hebat dalam bahasa Inggeris. Dunia sains, teknologi dan matematik juga tak bosan dengan aktiviti yang sangat interaktif. Komuniti iKlas ni besar. Inilah masanya nak belajar sama-sama dengan kawan baru secara dalam talian. Tak kiralah sama ada nak berbincang pasal subjek baru atau cabar mereka dengan kuis mingguan. Tengok siapa boleh jadi nombor 1. Belajar secara dalam talian boleh jadi seronok dan mudah. Kalau anda belajar dengan iKlas, barulah boleh jadi peneraju masa depan. Terukai dunia belajar lagi seronok. iKlas menanti anda.
Hey, selamat petang semua. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. Our second workshop for this week, which is on essay writing. So we will be starting very, very shortly, very soon. Now it's 2:57, 3 more minutes until 3 o'clock. So maybe while we're waiting, can we have the students or the teachers to share where are you from, your name, your school, and maybe your form as well, whether you're in year 4, year 5, year 6, or anywhere between form 1 to form 5. Okay, can you share? So let's see, we have Shreya from SK Convent Kajang. So hello Shreya, can you maybe share which year or which form you're in? We also have, we have Cikgu Gerald here today. I will be introducing Cikgu Gerald shortly, but Cikgu Gerald is also currently teaching in SMK Tabuan Jaya. We have Tan Yun Si from SJKC Sungai Chua. And we also have Athena Norji from SK Larkin. You can share your year also, like your name, your school, and then your year or your form. So Shreya is in year 6. Okay, Lapshuan. Oh, hi Lapshuan. I see you yesterday and today I see you again. Thank you so much for being with us. So Lapshuan is from MJK Yuha from 5. We have Gudarshan from SMK Hulu Klang. Hello, Gudarshan. From 3. And we also have Aswani from Bukit Mertajam. We have a group of students here from Form 4 in Madam Janet's class. Thank you so much for being here. Standard 3, we have Marsha. Okay. And we have Sharon from SMK Saratok from 5, and we also have Kabines. Okay, so keep sharing. For those of you on Zoom and for those of you on YouTube, you can also share. I have a lot of devices open here for me to look at your chat. So if you're on YouTube joining us, welcome. Please also share your name, your school, and your year or your form in the comment section, yeah? Okay, continue sharing. So since we're going to start already, before we do so, please make sure you are all comfortable. So if you just got back from school, you haven't had your lunch yet, or you're feeling thirsty, make sure you have some snacks next to you. You have your drinks or your meal. You can have your meal while you're following this session with us. Make sure you're connected. If ever you got kicked out because of internet connection, feel free to join us back. We are both on Zoom and on YouTube, so you can choose which channel or which platform is the best for your data connection. and also stay to learn. So please engage with us in chat and the comment section. If you have any questions you want to ask us, just ask Cikgu Jared and myself, and we have a lot of kakak-kakak, abang-abang here today to also answer your question. If you have any ideas or suggestions on how to do things also later based on our session, please also suggest them in the chat or in the comment section, yeah? Okay. All right, so it's 3 o'clock. Let's start. So like I shared, so this week is our second workshop of the week, and it's also our second essay writing workshop. So we have the first, we had the first essay writing workshop about 2 weeks back, which is so now we're looking into the second part, the second workshop called Power of the Pen. And for today, we'll be having Cikgu Jared with you with us today. Yesterday, we just completed our second storytelling workshop. So if you attended the workshop, the first essay writing workshop, can I see a yes either in the chat or the comment section? If you attended the first essay writing workshop we had 2 weeks back, can I see a yes in the comment section? So yeah, so we have Hamshini, Zachary. Okay, a lot of you actually attended our first essay writing workshop and also our storytelling. Thank you for being with us. I hope to see all of you in all the weeks that we have, yeah? Okay, all right. So now I think some of you were asking what is our YouTube channel. We will share it shortly in the chat. So keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming. Okay, so if you ever miss out on any of the sessions that we conducted, so for example, yesterday's storytelling workshop or the 2 weeks before punya storytelling and essay writing workshop, and if you miss out, you do not know where to get them, or you want some notes, there's 2 ways for you to do so. The first one is make sure you join the e-class platform. It's a free account whereby all the workshop, any notes, any tips, we will upload there. And later, I will also share with you a student Telegram group where we will also be sharing some tips and notes based on the workshop there as well. So if you miss out, you can always catch up, okay, or either on our e-class website or in our Telegram group, which I will share shortly, yeah? Okay. So today is an afternoon, okay? It's actually 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm sure a lot of you have just got back to school. Like my laptop also, normally by 3 o'clock, I need to charge my laptop already because already halfway dying. I also feel a little bit tired already. So we need to keep checking where are we currently, how energetic do we feel? If we feel a little bit down, a little bit low in energy, then what can we do to increase our energy so that we can follow the session better? So for this, I want to ask all of you, can you share with me, imagine you are a battery. What is your battery percentage right now? Are you 20% or 40%, feeling very tired from school, maybe need to eat something or need to bring something? Or are you between 60 to 80%, still okay, still can focus? Or are you either 98% or your battery full already? You can focus and engage very fully in the next 1 hour. Okay, so let me see. We are a lot of you full already, battery full already. Well done for charging your battery. We have Hamshini 80%. Wow, Lapshan very clear, 98%. Zachary about 75%. Okay. Adam is 47%. Oh, thank you so much, Adam. Even though your battery low a bit, you're still with us today. Asma and Caitlin 60%, 65%. Okay, we have some Adriana 85%, and some of you are also full. Khatijah says she's charging. So Khatijah, what you're doing to charge your battery? Are you currently resting on the sofa, or are you eating, or are you drinking right now? Maybe you can share with me in the chat also. Adam also is charging. Okay. Okay, so regardless of where you are, I want to thank you for being with us today, whether your battery high or your battery low. If you're feeling a little bit low, make sure you go and charge your battery, yeah? Okay, make sure you're comfortable and you can be with us up until 4 o'clock, and we're going to have a lot of fun learning together, okay? All right, so let's move on. So like I shared just now, we had the first essay writing workshop 2 weeks ago on the 14th of July with Cikgu Emily, if you remember, where we learn to use the funnel method to write an essay. So today, on the 20th of July, in the next 1 hour, we will have Cikgu Jared with you to talk about how we can use a simple 4 steps to make our essay even more even better, even more gempak lah, so that people are interested to read it. So this is something that Cikgu Jared will walk through with us later. And we have 2 more workshop, actually 2 more essay writing workshop in the month of August. So if you haven't registered yet, it's not too late. We'll be sharing the registration link in the chat or in the comment section later. So make sure you register for it. Maybe I also want to ask lah, if you know, part of our competition, we also have an essay writing category. How many of you would like to submit an essay to join the competition, for the competition? If you want to submit an essay, okay, as your submission to join the competition, can you respond with a yes in the chat or the comment section, either you're on Zoom or on YouTube? How many of you would like to submit an essay for the HIP English competition that we're currently running up until the 31st of August? If you want to submit an essay, you can respond with a yes, either on Zoom or on YouTube. Wow, we have a lot of yes and yes here, okay? So hopefully with all this workshop that we are organizing for you, you can actually use all these tips and that is being shared by all the cikgu we have, so that to make your essay even better before you submit it. And if you wanted to submit or you want to join the competition, it's actually very, very easy. Okay, all you need to do is just to join our Telegram group. In the Telegram group, once you're in the Telegram group, if you have your essay ready already, you can share it in the Telegram group. If you wanted to join the storytelling competition, you can record yourself telling the story and also upload it on the Telegram group. So it's very, very easy for you to join. And on the Telegram group also, you can actually look at your friend's submission. And then we can encourage each other lah as we participate in the competition together. Friendly competition, okay? All right, so this is the link for you to join. It's also up in the chat. Okay, I won't take any more time. I know we're all excited to hear from Cikgu Jared. So today we have Cikgu Jared with us, who will guide us through on how can we write compelling points for our essay. Cikgu Jared, over to you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's so great to be here. So great to see all of you. Now, I am in Sarawak. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. Where are you guys from? Put it into the chat. I want to see. Which state is the winner here? Which state are you guys from? Put it into the chat. I want to see it. Who's the winner? Okay, we have Sarawak, Johor, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Penang, Kedah, everywhere. Mana-mana pun ada. But I think Sarawak paling banyak lah. Come on. Takkan lah. You guys, the rest of the place, kalah. Sarawak, KL, Kedah, Johor. Oh, Johor a lot. More than Kuala Lumpur. Oh, Sarawak, so many, yeah. Selangor, okay. Look, oh, we have one Sabah right there. Selangor again. All right, no matter where you guys are from, I'm glad that you're here. I've got something to share with you today, and I hope that it benefits everyone, for sure. So the title of my workshop today is Power of the Pen, because this is a writing workshop. Get ready. You're going to need to do a little bit of writing. Yeah, I'm not going to make you write too much. Even though I see that your battery is very, very full, I'm not going to take too much of your performance power. But you need to do a little bit of writing, right? The best way to learn is to do. And there's no point if I just chickadee chat, talk over here, and you're not doing anything. So get ready, get ready. You're going to have to write a little bit later on. My name is Jared Young, and this workshop is brought to you by Guru Lab. Made English yours. So let me talk a little bit about myself. You guys probably don't know who this talking head here is. Oh, you want to use a paper and pen? Go ahead, no problem. So I'm a dad, I'm a motorcycle rider, I'm a footballer, I'm a foodie. I love food. I've been to many of your states, and you guys all have amazing food. Before I became a dad, I used to travel a lot, but now I have to be a responsible adult. I've had 13 years of teaching experience in both Malaysia and the USA. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of trust. And if your parents are watching with you, I think they can go away now. No need to look at me so closely. I am an SPM examiner, a Fulbright scholar at Columbia University for my master's, and a JPA scholar at Victoria University of Wellington for my bachelor's degree. So don't worry, I'm fully qualified to speak to you today. If you have questions today, don't worry, you can ask them inside of the Zoom chat. Unfortunately, we can't turn on the voice chat for you, but you can type out your question and I'll try to address it as I'm speaking. But if I miss it and I didn't answer it, you can ask me again at the end of the session. I'll open up a Q&A session at the end. And you can also ask for meanings of words. Someone on the team will look up the meaning because this is writing, and sometimes I might use words that are difficult. Don't worry about it. Ask for the meaning and someone will help you out over there. And of course, I have quite a lot of tips to share today. So make sure you take notes, or as what young people nowadays do, take screenshots. I don't mind. You can screenshot my handsome face too if you want. Oh, bombastic words. Oh, I love bombastic words. There's a really nice song with that name as I was growing up. Okay, so we're gonna do a simple poll here. Inside of the Zoom chat, press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. Hey, come on, Adam. Not yet. Hey, sabar dulu, sabar. Hey, bro. Sabar, sabar. All right, so you're going to respond to these questions. Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. Do you like English? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. Let's see. Wow. Looks like everybody here likes English. How many people do we have today? We have 114. Come on, I want to see 114 numbers. You can put a 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna be like, hey, cari, who pressed 2? I report to the teacher. No, I'm not gonna do that. Alia, 140. Looks like you guys are in the right place. Yeah, all of you like English, and I'm an English teacher teaching you how to write English. Okay. Next question. Do you like writing? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's see. This one should be a little bit. Oh, there's a 3. Faham soalan ni. There's no 3, guys. Don't put 3. Okay, I see a few 2s. Yeah, it's fine to be honest. I like honest people. Zachary, 1.5. 1/2. You don't know? Yeah, you don't know. That means most likely it's 2. All right. So there's a mix. Yeah, I think most of you here like writing. Some of you don't like writing, but that's fine. You guys are still very young. You may not need to like writing to be able to do writing well. I don't like, when I was in school, I didn't like moral. I don't like that subject, but I still studied it and I still did well in it. So yeah, you don't have to like something to do well in it. Next question is, what type of writing do you fear most? I'm going to give you a list and choose one, okay? Is it narrative, story, writing a story? Is it B, descriptive writing, as in describe your favorite food, describe your favorite holiday? Is it argumentative, an opinion piece, like what do you think about something? Or is it D, expository, which is writing about facts? A, B, C, D. Which one do you fear the most? Let's see. Choose one. Yeah, I see a lot of people choosing more than one. Okay, I see a lot of D's. Yeah, a lot of C's and D's. Oh, 1A, 2 A's. Totally D. You need to write in cursive. Who makes you write in cursive? Oh, Nurul, all. Aduh, sedihnya. Tak apa. Cikgu aja. Okay, so I think the winner is this one. Most of you chose D. C is close second. Nobody chose B, so B must be like, people really love this. And some people chose A. All right, Shreya likes writing. That's great. So you guys are in the right place, because what I'm going to share today is going to definitely help you with these two here. Maybe not so much this and this. There are other workshops that help you with these two types of writing, but especially these two, right? You guys like the paling takut these two types here. I'm gonna share with you. Wait. I'm gonna share with you some very simple tips to ace these two types of writing. But I'm sure some of you are asking, why? Why? Why do I need to write this? Why can't I just write the type of essays that I love? Why, guys? Well, this is why. If you want to go to university level, right, especially if you want to study in, let's say, Singapore or another country, you need to take an exam. So an English exam. So one example of an English exam is TOEFL. And these are example questions. Jenis, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can you choose one and read it for everyone?
Okay, I'll choose number 3. Do you agree or disagree that we should always ask someone else for help when we need to make an important decision? Why or why not?
Okay. Thank you, Cikgu. Thank you, Cikgu. Thank you, Kakak Janice. Now, this type of writing, I want you to say yes or no. Is this a story? Yes or no inside the chat. Is okay. Yep, you guys are right. It's not. Is this a description? Yep. Okay, I see a few yeses. This is not a description, guys. Is this an opinion piece? Yep, this is an opinion type of essay. So this is the thing. If you want to study in university, you need to know the skills that I'm about to share with you. You need to know how to write in the two types here that you fear the most. Okay, but don't be too afraid. Yeah, because today I'm going to share with you. Oh, sorry. I forgot I put this in there. So, okay, let's say we want to write an answer for that essay question. What do you think? What is necessary for writing a good essay to answer that question? I want to hear what writing tips you guys have. Put it into the chat, guys. Put it into the chat. What tips do you have for me, for everyone? What has your teacher at school taught you? Let's see. Put it into the chat. Kakak Janice, what tips did your teacher give you when you were at school?
My teacher always tell me about this burger method. So my teacher always say must have 1 paragraph for introduction, 1 paragraph for closing, and then 3 paragraphs for points.
Wow, 3 paragraphs for points. Your teacher really, really hebat lah, push you.
That's why I don't like writing.
That's why you're here, right? To learn.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. We got so many good answers here. Adrina says you need ideas. That's right. Use mind maps to generate ideas, right? Hamshini, once upon a time, sounds like something for a story. Using bombastic words, good ideas, idioms, truthful opinions, cohesive devices, very nice. Similes, proverbs, bombastic words again, idioms, proverbs. Elaborate the answers, WH questions. Look at that. Look at all these wonderful, wonderful tips here. It's not like you guys don't know anything. You guys know a little bit. So what I'm going to share with you today is going to be very simple. It's a 4-step technique to help you get all these things in your essay: organized, clear, presentable, powerful, informative, compelling, so that you're not lost and not stuck. But this 4-step technique, everybody can do it, right? I'm going to give you some power-ups so that you can do better as well, do better than the other person that you're competing with, maybe. So are you guys ready to learn these 4 steps? If you're ready, I want you to put A into the Zoom chat. 140 people. I want to see 140 A's in the Zoom chat. Go, shoot those A's in there right now. I'm going to count. I'm not going to start if I don't get 140. All right. Keep those A's coming. Oh, wow. Look at the chat. It's going crazy. Some of you are repeating, but that's okay. Stop. Everybody stop. Great. Let's carry on. The first step. So let's say you get a question like this, right? Should toddlers be given smartphones? What if I give you an answer like this? A recent report found that a significant percentage of children with an extended length of screen time find it hard to focus on their academics. What do you think about this answer? Is it good? 1. Is it 2? Bad? Put into the chat. Let's see. All right, we have a mix. You guys are going nuts in the chat. I think Kakak Janice, you might need to stop if they don't stop, yeah? So obviously this answer is not good enough, because what's your point? This is some kind of example, some kind of explanation, but what are you trying to say? It's not clear. So the first thing that you do when you write, you need to give your point. Children should not be allowed mobile phones, as it hampers their ability to learn. And then you explain. Bada bing, bada boom. The first thing that you need to do is write a point. It's simple, but a lot of people get it wrong because maybe they're a little bit too ambitious. So here are some do's and don'ts. Points help readers understand the main idea of the paragraph. That's why you need to have them first. It's different from if you're writing a story. Maybe you want to have cliffhangers. Maybe you want to leave your audience in suspense. Yep, if that's your style and you're writing a story, understandable. But if you're doing an opinion, if you're doing something about facts, you need to put your points at the beginning because you want your readers to immediately understand your main idea. 2, it's simply the main argument of the paragraph. So the key word here is simple. Be narrow and specific, okay? Because you have many paragraphs, you're going to have many points covering different parts of what you think. So don't give a point that is too broad. Make sure that it's narrow and specific based on the examples and the explanation that you're going to give. And I need to repeat this, keep it simple, silly. So these are things that you, what do I mean by narrow? I'll show you in the example later, okay? Don't include too many details. Some students love to write sentences that are like super long and it's just piling on. No, your point needs to be simple and clear. Don't put in too many details. And don't be overly descriptive. You can put in enough for people to understand what you mean, but don't go overboard with the descriptions. And also, don't expect readers to read between the lines. You need to say what you think exactly the way it is. You don't try to hint or anything like that. The reason you don't do these is because you don't want to confuse your readers, right? you want to get them at the beginning, help them to understand exactly what it is you want them to understand from your writing. And so how do we power up the first part, the point? You can power it up with a hook. I think you learned about hooks in the last workshop. So this one, it will be a little bit different from that. Similar, but a little bit different. So you can hook with a question. You can hook with a contradiction. You can hook with an anecdote, which is a story, or a misconception. The reason why you want to have a hook is because you want to get your readers interested in reading the rest of the paragraph. Get them thinking about what you're about to say. So here is an example using the same title and the same point as earlier. Children should not be allowed mobile phones as it hampers their ability to learn. And this is what I mean by narrow. I'm talking about their ability to learn. Kebolehan belajar. And that's it. I'm not going to talk about anything else. Maybe it distracts them. Maybe it exposes them to bad information. But that's not what I'm going to deal with in this paragraph. I'm just going to deal with learning and education. Okay, so that's what I mean by being narrow and specific. So what would a power-up look like? What would hook look like for this? If I were to write a question, this would be an example of a hook. How do mobile phones cause such a serious issue? Simple, right? All of you can do it. Contradiction. The parents who are supposed to support their kids are actually the ones who are obstructing them. Obstructing means menghalang. And an example of a misconception. Many parents assume that early exposure is great for their child. However, misunderstanding here, the reality is far from that. Okay, if you want to take a screen capture. Okay, guys, I think there is a troll. Kakak Janice, can you switch off the chat for a minute?
Okay, Cikgu Jared, hold on, yeah.
Right, so these are examples of what a hook would look like. If you want, take a screen capture now, because I'm going to go to the next slide. So this is time that you try step 1. Open up a word processor and respond to the prompt that I'm going to show you in a minute by writing one clear point to answer this prompt. And also include one hook with your point. Okay, just 2 sentences. And this is the question. Should uniforms be mandatory in schools? Should uniforms be mandatory in schools? So I'll give you about, we don't have much time, so I'll give you about 2 or 3 minutes to write. And when you're ready, copy and paste that into the Zoom chat. We would love to see what you have to say. And chat is re-enabled. I don't expect you guys to be chatting in there anymore because you're writing your answer. And Kakak Janice, I think you are going to write an answer as well.
Yes, Cikgu Jared.
Yeah, so Kakak Janice is our pelajar contoh hari ini. Terbaiklah.
I will try, okay?
Okay. So she will be writing, and I have loaded the Word document here. So this is kind of what I'm hoping that you guys will do. You can do it on a pen and paper if you want to, or you can do it on Notepad, Word document, that's fine. I see two answers in the chat. We have one from Althea. Having uniforms in school is pleasant and organized to see. That can be the point. Yes, definitely. Manlik writes, it makes students look organized. Yep. That can be a point. Harvini says it reduces the financial burden. I guess it's on the families, right? Yep, that can be a point. Amalina says, make students more disciplined. Yep. Nelly says, school uniforms look smart. Yep, can be a point. Ooh, CN has a big one. It's not mandatory in public schools, but for international schools and private schools, it may be needed to make them seem more cohesive and united. But they are not necessary in some cases, but the students can't afford them. So that looks like an explanation for something. So what is your point, CN? Ricky says, help students to become more disciplined and looks good. Yep. Student says it builds school identity. Yep. Excuse me. Catherine says, okay, Catherine, it says, if students wear something very sexy, it might ruin their exam score. Let me silence my phone. A random call suddenly. Zachary says, discerned according to their own school. Yeah. So you can probably put that in the conclusion, but if a question comes out like this, how are you going to write an essay of like 200 words with that as your point? Tunas, many students do not really like wearing uniforms. It should not be mandatory because students don't like wearing uniforms. Yes, that can be a point. Some students are tight on their budget. Yep, then that can be a point as well. Students feel comfortable wearing their own kinds of clothing. Oh yeah, so I guess that is an elaboration on your first point, which students don't like wearing uniforms. So maybe you want to put the budget thing in the next paragraph as a second point. All right, so there are a lot of really, really good points being brought up inside of the chat. Unfortunately, I can't go through all of them. Let's take a look at what Kakak Jenis has come up with. School uniforms should be mandatory in schools. So this is the response to the question. Let's look at her point. When students wear school uniforms, it helps to create better discipline in students. Wearing school uniforms also creates a sense of pride and identity in the students. Okay, so it looks like there are 2 points here. So maybe you want to break them up into 2 different paragraphs. Yep, but a hook is missing, so I'll give you some time to work on your hook as we move on to the second point. Sorry, guys, if this is a bit fast for you, you can always go back and look at the YouTube recordings. Yep. Unfortunately, we have very limited amount of time today. So you've done your point. What is step 2? Same question, same point. The next step involves this. You guys remember this in the news recently? So your point is like this cadet here. Can he stand up on his own? No, he needs someone to support him, to help him up, right? If this uncle lets go, he's going to fall down. Similarly, with your point, this guy is your point, and this guy is evidence. The evidence supports your point so that your point doesn't get thrown out into the trash. So here's an example of evidence. A recent report by the Star revealed that a significant percentage of children with an extended length of screen time find it hard to focus on their academics. So this is a report from the Star. I'm using this as my evidence to support my point, which is you give them mobile phones, they cannot learn. So how do you write evidence? Evidence helps readers accept your point. And your point should be supported with genuine evidence or examples. I know some students who like cipta lah, tulis essay kan, they just cipta lah, oh, kononnya some magazine or some newspaper. But if it makes sense, fine, you can cipta. But if it's a little bit too out there, come on, we teachers, we can tell if you're not being honest. So it can be facts, it can be some kind of analysis, events, statistics, data from any website, books, journals, or magazines. If you have the time to research, let's say you have an essay competition or your teacher gives you a writing assignment and you have time, you can Google, find all these facts to back up your points. Here are some useful language that you can use with your evidence. Studies show that, blah, blah, blah. What does the study show? Or you can say studies from what university? Reports advise against what? According to a study by WhatsApp University, yep, my parents love to learn from WhatsApp University. As per a recent report in TikTok magazine. I think you guys love TikTok magazine, don't you? So yeah, this is an example of stuff that you can put in front of your evidence to signal that you're writing evidence. So you can take a screen capture of this as I'm moving on to the power up. How do you power up your evidence? Especially if you are in an exam, right? SPM or whatever other exams you guys take. And your teacher has given you a question like, oh no, I have to write evidence and I don't have a phone, I can't Google. You can use rhetoric. What is that? It's an alternative kind of evidence. It's logical reasoning. So you can't Google, you just have to use your logical thinking. How? There are two ways. You can either use hypotheticals, which is like an imaginary situation, or you can use questions, rhetorical questions, just like what Cikgu Emily shared in the previous workshop. I'll give you some examples later. Don't worry, don't panic yet. Here's some useful language. You can say, take for example, something. Imagine a situation when this happens, something else will happen, or if this happens, something else will happen. Right? So these are good language that you can use to talk about hypotheticals, or you can even use them to ask questions. So here is an example. Same question, same point. Mobile phones hamper the ability of children to learn. So what would be evidence built from rhetoric? Here's a hypothetical, an imaginary situation. Imagine you are at a cafe with your friends. Despite the engaging conversation, one person will check their phone and cause others to check too. Does this happen to you guys? If it does, press 1 inside of the Zoom chat. Are you guys able to use that Zoom chat? Yes, you guys are. This happens to me all the time, especially if I go out with young people. I find it so annoying. I'm talking to you and you take out your phone and go on WhatsApp. I don't like it. So that happens. And when people see you do that, everybody starts doing it too, right? So here's an example of a question. If adults are so easily distracted by smartphones, how much more will the same happen in children? So this is an example of logical reasoning to back up this point. Right? If adults can't control themselves, how can children control themselves? So if they're on their phones all the time, they don't learn. So this is an example. You can take a screen capture of this. Here we go. Now it's your turn to try it out. Same topic as earlier. Continue from your point, previous point. Add one evidence to your point. And I know you don't have time to Google it, so you can add rhetoric to it. You have about 3 minutes. Yeah, we don't have 5 minutes. So 3 minutes, create a logical reasoning for why your point and share it. Share that reasoning inside of the Zoom chat. Now I'm going to open up what Kakak Janice has prepared. Ooh, she's so good at doing this. Look at that, how beautiful everything is arranged. Thank you guys for speaking up for me. Yes, please don't use the chat to talk about things that are not related to what we're doing, because it will send notifications to everyone and not everybody wants to know what's going on with your Wi-Fi. Okay, it looks like Kakak Janice has created a very interesting point. So she's using the word imagine that I shared earlier. You can use this in your writing as well. You get your reader to imagine. If students wear what they want, whatever they want to school, and then we'll get something that's not good. So this is a very clever way to create evidence to support your point. Ini macam nak get ready for debate, almost. Okay, let's see. We got 2 already in the Zoom chat. Manlik says, if you are a teacher or student and you are presenting, you can see that the students sitting students sitting in a row looks perfect and nice. Okay, so probably talking about the point where the kids look good in uniforms. Ricky says, if not all students would wear cloth of different types of colors, so they look uniform. It will make students, okay, if they wear different types of colors, they will look disorganized. Yep, that can be a good reasoning. It's built on rhetoric. Well done. School uniforms restrict students' freedom of expression. So that would be a point. To make students more disciplined. Yeah, that will be a point as well. They give good impression to people when all students are dressed well and they look smart. Okay, give good impression to people. That's your point. Imagine there are visitors in your school and everyone is dressed differently. It doesn't show that the students are disciplined. That's a very interesting explanation there, Shreya. So you'll need to add some more to it. But you're on the right track. Okay, let's see. School uniform should be a must for every student to discipline themselves, as they are the future leaders. Okay, you might want to elaborate on future leader and why do they need to be disciplined and need to wear school uniforms. Dunas, imagine if students wear what they want, it will probably affect motivation to go to school. It will make them more excited to learn in comfortable clothes. Okay, yeah, more excited to learn in comfortable clothes. And then you can give a story. Imagine this, or my friend did this. That's acceptable as well. All right, in the interest of time, I'm sorry, guys, I'll have to move on to the next point. But there are a lot of very good ideas here, and I like that many of you are engaging and trying these tips out. It'll definitely help you later on if you were to answer any of these essay questions. So let's go to the next one. Step 3. So you have your question, same point, same evidence. What's next? What comes next? Is this enough? We can go to the next point, right, teacher? Of course not. If you give people your point, you give people your evidence, this is what's going to happen, right? You can give different people the same thing. Like I'm giving this number here to these two people. They are looking at it from a different perspective. And so they will say different things, which is why the next step is so important. And the next step is explain. You need to explain what is your point of view so that the reader fully understands what you mean with your point and your evidence. Otherwise, they'll be thinking their own thing. So for example, this is an explanation. At higher levels of education, children need to be able to focus for even longer periods of time. Those with higher levels of education would be able to ascend the socio-economic ladder. Thus, children should not indulge in mobile phones and lose out in their education. So this is explaining my point. If you use your phones, you will not be able to get a good education, no good education. You cannot get a good job. You will not be able to succeed later on in life. So how do you do explain? Explain helps readers get a clear picture of your thinking process. So what you do is you explain exactly how every piece of evidence supports your point from your point of view. And this is definitely the hardest part. This is where you show off your writing skills. If you are like a super hebat lah, tip-top writer, not TikTok, I'm saying tip-top, tip-top. Show off your writing skills. This is your chance in the explanation part. Impress the reader, especially if you're writing for a competition. Point lebih kurang sama, evidence lebih kurang sama, but the way that you explain, you can show your style, gaya, and your skill. Here's some useful language. You can use conjunctions as, for, due to, because to elaborate on your points. You can use cohesive devices as well, hence, therefore, thus. So if these are a bit too advanced for you, you might want to screen capture this and screenshot this and look at it again later. But most importantly, if you want to be very good at explaining, right, or improving your writing overall, you need to do this. What is this? Exactly, Shreya. You need to read. The more that you read, the better you write. Good stuff in, good stuff out. It's like nutrition, but for your brain. Your body needs good vitamins, right? So that your body gets stronger. Your brain, your writing skills, your English also needs a good reading diet in order for it to grow. If you don't feed your brain is going to get skinny, it's going to get weak, and you're going to find it very, very difficult to use it to write. So guys, read. All right, I see a lot of people who love reading. Well done, guys. You're in the right place. How do you power up explanations, right? Explain, yes, but how do I do it better than other people? You need to use something called clauses. So clauses, they add nuance and complexity to your explanations. There are two types of clauses, restrictive and unrestrictive. So this is grammar. You gotta know how to use them properly. I don't have time to explain them to you in detail, so you can always screenshot this and research it more later. Here's some useful language. You can use that which, when, where, who to start your clauses. And I will show you some examples in the next slide. So this is the example that I want to show you. Same question, same point, same evidence. So what does explain plus clauses look like? It looks like this. Being unable to focus, and this is your first clause, which is important for academic success, will not only cause problems in the classroom, but also, then this is the next clause, when the child enters the workforce. And does anything, this is the last clause, that requires deep work. Therefore, mobile phones should not be given to children until they are more mature. Of course, this is an exaggeration. You don't need to put 3 in one sentence. I'm doing this just as an example for you. You can just use one. In one in a sentence, that's more than good enough. Okay? These are the examples that you can use. So I've just used 3 of them. You can take a screen capture of this, or you can always go back to the YouTube recording and watch this again. I wanna let you try it out, but I'm aware that I'm running low on time. So I'm going to skip this and I'm going to go to my last step. Step 4. So we have your point, you have your evidence, you have your explanation. It should be good enough, right? Children should not indulge in mobile phones and lose out in their education. Dah, siap, habis, balik. Of course not. There's a 4th point, a 4th step. What is it? It's link. Another point to consider is smartphones expose young minds to mature content that they may not be ready to process. If you stop here, then your reader also stop. So you want to put something, right? Letak sesuatu supaya mereka nak baca lagi next paragraph. Yeah, to make the transition from one idea to another smoother. So that's what a link does. So that the reader tertengok point yang seterusnya terpaksa baca lagi. It's just like Netflix, right? Before you click stop, dah episode kedua tak apalah tengok lah. Mana tahu sudah pagi. Liao loh. This is what you should do to your readers, the Netflix effect. So this is what a link does, yeah? The reader is reading point 1 and suddenly point 2 comes up and grabs your reader without them realizing it. So a link helps readers relate current point to the next. Start the next point in the last sentence of the paragraph. That's what a link is. It's the simplest. So here's some useful language. You can use these to signal that you're talking about the next point. Additionally, furthermore, next. And of course, you can use the one that I used just now. Another point to consider, another point to consider is, and of course, oh yeah, screen capture this. Next is the power up. How do you power up link? You power up by adding a preface, right? A lot of people can link, but how do you link with style? Kan, whatever we do, mesti ada gaya kan? Everybody likes gaya. So you use cohesive devices to include the current point in your link. This increases the cohesion of your essay. And here is some useful language, although, even though, despite, and while. I'll show you an example. How do you do this? So this is the question. This is the first point. And I've already done the evidence, the explain. Now I want to do the link. And I want to add a preface. So this is how you do it. In addition to negatively affecting their education, so this is the bolded one. This is a cohesive device. And this is me, including the first point inside of the link. This is the first point, and the rest is the second point. So many people know how to put the second point in, but they don't know how to put the first point in together with the second point. And this is how you do it, guys. Take a screenshot of this. Kakak Janice, do we have time? It's like past 55 now.
Yeah, Cikgu Jared, I think it's okay. You can take it to 4 o'clock and then until we can do a quick wrap up.
Okay. So guys, I don't have time to let you write. So we will go to the question and answer part, yeah? So what did I share with you today? I shared with you 4 steps and they have a name. It's called the peel method. Point, evidence, explain, and link. So whenever you want to write, whenever your teacher gives you an essay or you go to an exam and the question is a fact, you have to write a factual essay or you have to write an opinion essay. Remember the peel method because these 4 steps, just repeat them for every paragraph. It's going to help you to improve and help you to write a really, really good and organized piece of writing. And if you want to be more power than the person next to you, remember the hook, remember the rhetoric, the clauses, and why did I put hook here again? It's a preface. And so I'm ready to take your questions if you guys have any. You can put them into the Zoom chat. And meanwhile, I'll fix that one. There you go. I know it might be a bit difficult for you to write your questions down. So I'm going to give you my contact information in case you want to ask it verbally or whatever. Should I? Okay, Zachary has a question. Should I insert advanced words in the essay to capture the reader's attention? Okay, advanced words. All right. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. So I mark SPM, right? Oh, I don't enjoy marking SPM because very often people think, oh, mesti guna perkataan yang gempak. Oh, bagi dia gempak sikit. If you can use it properly, you can use it correctly, go ahead. Yeah, use those big words. Use those wonderful idioms, quotes that you've memorized. But if your English is not very good, I would suggest that you don't. Keep things simple. The most important thing is not to gempak. The most important thing is people can understand what you are writing. If you are already very good at writing, you know a lot of difficult words, you can use it, no problem. But if you, okay, there are a lot of essays that I read like, langsung tak faham, like, apa yang kau tulis? One whole page, merah semua, underline, tiba-tiba, last line, oh, Einstein said, oh, and that is the only sentence yang betul dalam essay itu. Come on, guys, don't do that. Don't be like Einstein. Keep it simple. Make sure that people can understand what you're writing. So it's always very, very important. Like kalau cikgu bagi assignment, bagi kerja rumah kan, janganlah cari Google lepas tu salin bulat-bulat. Janganlah cari kawan yang pandai dalam kelas salin bulat-bulat essay dia. You need to learn how to put your own words into sentences, and that is the most important thing. I have many students in Form 5 who are starting to learn how to do it, and it takes time. It takes a lot of effort, but in the end, they do it and they score in SPM. Is writing idioms a good way to capture attention, or is it distracting? Like what I said, if you can write it well, If you know how to, if it's relevant to what you're writing, then great. It's a bonus. If the worst thing is like, if you're writing about bicycles and then suddenly the idiom is about, I don't know, it's about love. Okay, it might work, bicycles and love. If it's about cars, then there's a mismatch happening there. If the essay needs to have a limit, I don't quite understand what you mean, Nurul Fizmi. What if the essay needs to have a limit? Is it a word limit? What do we need to do to improve it? Yeah, I'm not very sure. What do you mean by limit? Which is why I apologize that we are only able to, answer your questions via text. Shumei says, learn before trying to make it fancy. Yes, indeed. I'm not keen in reading, so what are other ways to widen my ideas? I'm sure, Mega, I'm sure you have a lot of great ideas. You're very, very creative. But how do you put those ideas into words, right? Into sentences? Okay, even if you can put those ideas into sentences, into words, how do you make those words interesting that people want to read? Or how do you make those words show exactly what you have in your imagination? And that is why, I'm sorry, you need to read. Maybe you haven't found the right writer. Personally, I have my favorite writers and I read everything that they write. And these are old people. I'm not sure if you will enjoy them. When I was growing up, I loved reading Victor Hugo. He's a French writer. His work has been translated into English. He wrote Les Miserables, if you guys are familiar with these old classics. And I also enjoyed reading like Enid Blyton's books. Old. I'm old, guys. I'm sorry. You guys have newer books. You can read comic books as well. You can start with that. And when you find a novel that you enjoy, Harry Potter or whatever it is that people nowadays read, Game of Thrones, it's really up to you. Yeah, that's why you need to read so that you can sort of copycat your favorite writer. You know, you follow their style, and through that, you learn a new style. You develop your own style. What are other methods to then reading to improve our vocabulary? Oh, vocabulary is easy. Sing English songs. Look at the lyrics, sing them, understand what the words mean. That's how you build vocabulary. Very easy. Watch movies, turn on the subtitles, imitate the way that they speak. That's how I learned my English. Yeah, vocabulary is very easy. Yeah, music, media, anything that you can learn words from, you can learn vocabulary. I don't really like reading or writing. Could you give some tips for it? Create an anonymous Twitter account. Every day, write what you think in that Twitter account. That will help you with your writing and reading. Anonymous, so nobody knows about it. You can really share your opinion. iPhone, copy from Google. What will I learn? Yeah, true. If you copy from Google, what would you learn after you're done? You learn that you can copy from Google, and you can copy pretty well. Okay, so there are a lot of questions. It's already 4:05. Thank you guys for all those wonderful, wonderful questions about writing in general and also English. I would love to tackle your questions. You can follow us on social media. My Guru Lab has a lot of really great tips on their Instagram page. Check it out. You can also follow me as well if you want, Jared YJK, in all of these platforms. And I can answer your questions there as well if necessary. And before I go, I want to remind all of you that the future depends on what you do today. like I said earlier, you don't have to like writing in order to do writing well. And if you want a bright future, if you are ambitious, you want to achieve great things, maybe you want to be the Perdana Menteri of Malaysia, maybe you want to be the next angkasawan, whatever it is you want to do, it starts with what you do today, what you choose to do today. So I'm glad that all of you made the choice to spend your afternoon with me here talking about English writing. And I wish all of you success, and I hope to hear the amazing stories in your life of what you have achieved. That's it from me. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, Guru Lab. Thank you, Maxis E-Class. Back to you, Kakak Jenis.
Okay, thank you, Cikgu Jared. So thank you so much for the session just now. We're going to end very, very soon. So please stay until the end. We're going to share a few useful links and information with you. So in the first essay writing workshop, we have Cikgu Emily guiding us on how to write an interesting introduction. And today we have Cikgu Jared guiding us on how to write a compelling isi in the karangan. Okay, so I hope using these tips, you can actually use it to write your essay, not necessarily only for the competition, but also in your classroom. You can also share with your friends who are not able to join us today, or very easy, ask them to go on Maxis E-Class to watch the recording again. We have 4 more workshops in August, so please make sure you participate or you register for this to secure a spot. And last but not least, as shared before, there is an e-certificate for all those of you who joined today. But what you need to do is you need to complete this feedback form. The link is shared in the chat, and you need to do so before 5 p.m. tomorrow, or else we will close the feedback form and you cannot do it already. Okay, so complete the feedback form before 5 p.m. tomorrow, and we will use, and then we will generate your e-certificate, which will be sent to your email address within 5 working days. Okay, so if there is any question, you can always reach out to us in the Telegram group, or you can also reach out directly to Cikgu Jared or Guru Lab on their IG or on their Facebook. Okay, I think that's all for now. Thank you everybody for spending your afternoon with us. Hope to see you in the workshop in 2 weeks time in August. Bye everybody.
Nak dunia belajar yang lagi seronok tak? Jom masuk iKlas. Dengan iKlas nak belajar secara digital di mana-mana pun mudah dan mengujakan. Seronok kan? Di kat sini ada ramai cikgu berpengalaman yang sedia dan bersemangat untuk mengajar. Tak kiralah di mana-mana. Ada soalan ke tu? Tanya je cikgu terus. Ini kan tuition dalam talian. Skor dalam peperiksaan dengan bantuan cikgu tuition. Nota ada, video ada, soalan latih tupi peperiksaan ada dan banyak lagi tau. Tengok tu, macam-macam aktiviti dan projek ada untuk anda sertai. Kuasai bahasa Inggeris dengan aktiviti bercerita dan menulis. Berlakon di Bengkel Bercerita. Atau menulis esei dengan hebat dalam bahasa Inggeris. Dunia sains, teknologi dan matematik juga tak bosan dengan aktiviti yang sangat interaktif. Komuniti iKlas ni besar. Inilah masanya nak belajar sama-sama dengan kawan baru secara dalam talian. Tak kiralah sama ada nak berbincang pasal subjek baru atau cabar mereka dengan kuis mingguan. Tengok siapa boleh jadi nombor 1. Belajar secara dalam talian boleh jadi seronok dan mudah. Kalau anda belajar dengan iKlas, barulah boleh jadi peneraju masa depan. Terukai dunia belajar lagi seronok. iKlas menanti anda.